quite physically fit and strong and sort of like feel like I'm in my prime and sort of like passionate about so even like social issues and stuff, because I've got the time to think about them and whatnot, you know. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Dr. Nick Analyzes. I'm an academic psychologist and I try to analyze various music songs from the perspective of psychology, try and draw out some wisdom and see if there's some stuff we can learn. Today I'm going to be reacting to a person I've never heard of. So this is Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, and there's a song called Like a Rock. Now you might be wondering, how the heck did I find this? It's because people in the comments of my videos will often make suggestions, and this was one of the suggestions. And I like when I make videos sometimes to react to stuff that I'm totally blind to. So I don't know how old this fella is. I don't know how old this song is. I don't know what genre of song this is. I know absolutely nothing about this, and there's something really exciting about that. I'm sort of like interested to see what this song has got in store for me, and I hope I make some sort of sense, and I hope I manage to pull some good stuff out of it. All right, let's get on with it.
Stood there boldly, sweating in the sun. Felt like a million, felt like number one. The height of summer, I'd never felt that strong. Like a rock, I was 18, didn't have a care, working for peanuts, not a dime to spare. But I was leaning, solid everywhere, like a rock.
It's gonna turn, isn't it? It's gonna turn. Like my experience of the first minute of this song is I'm really enjoying this. I think he's got a really lovely voice, but he's also a storyteller in his voice, in the lyrics and whatnot. And of course, when people watch this, they're not just thinking about this fella, right? They're thinking about themselves. And so as he's thinking this, it takes me back to a really specific memory. So like when I would have been 25 or something, I'd finished my PhD. That means people call me doctor, which is pretty cool. And I went on a 2-month tour of different psychology labs in America. And I went to a couple of conferences at the time of my life, right? I had no money, but I was solid. and you know, I felt sort of strong, like a rock. And after the psychology conference had finished, I dropped my friend to LAX in Los Angeles, and I drove by myself from Los Angeles to Las Vegas in a car that looked just like that car, and met all of my friends for a stag do in Las Vegas. For Americans out there, a bachelor party in Las Vegas. You know, I had no worries. I had no cares. I had so much less depth than what I have now. I was, you know, innocent and light and unaware and sort of, carefree. I was carefree despite not having a whole lot. And so as he's telling this story, I'm thinking of myself in that. And there's something lovely about words and songs and the way that they manage to say something that in fact speaks to our own experiences. But I wonder if it's all about to change. It can't just be happy, happy for the rest of the song.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firmly to what I felt was right, like a rock, like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me like a rock. I was something to see like a rock. And I stood arrow straight, unencumbered by the weight of all these hustlers and their schemes. I stood proud, I stood tall, high above it all. I still believed in my dreams.
Great. So like by describing who he was, he's illustrating to us what he isn't now. You see that happening? So he's really clever. He doesn't have to explicitly say, I'm now old and bitter. I now have creaks in the way that I move. I'm not unafflicted. I've experienced loss. He didn't have to tell us all that. All he's doing is he's telling us what he was to open an insight into what he isn't right now. And so it's almost like he's almost like saying to us, and I think we say this to ourselves, don't we? Like, what's happened to me? What's happened to me? It's like the mourning of time. It's mourning the fact that time has passed. Like my wife was saying yesterday, right? At the moment we got a 1-year-old and a 9-year-old, and we spend most of our time just slogging, pirates or teachers or whatnot, and then chasing them around, make sure they're not banging their heads, trying to get good food in them. You're just slogging away, more or less. And she was telling me about a memory of when she went to Ibiza with her friends at 16 years old, and she was like, party until 5 a.m, up at 8 o'clock, sunbathing with her friends, and that was carefree and unafflicted and firm and sort of all those things. And like when she's telling the story, she's mourning the fact that that's not now. And that can never be now again. Do you know what I mean? There's something, it's like I'm so grateful to have had those times. And there's something sad and hard about the fact that I don't get to have those. I'm never going to be 21 to 25 again, where I'm like quite physically fit and strong and sort of like feel like I'm in my prime and sort of like passionate about even like social issues and stuff, because I've got the time to think about them and whatnot, It's sort of like, this bitterness that gets into us as we get older. We look back at our younger selves and think, bloody hell, we had none of that bitterness. It was just an optimism for life, a feeling that we could chase our dreams, that we had dreams that could be chased. And then we get older and sort of reality sets in a little bit, and it turns out that, I don't know, there's something lovely, isn't there, about someone that dreams. And just as we get older, we just do that so much less. And so he's really pointing to that. I think the other thing that popped out to me there was I'm not sure of the musical sort of like words to describe this, but it almost like kicked up a key, and his voice like expanded to this quite powerful thing. Like he's got a great voice. Like in the lower parts of the song, the more calm parts, the tone of his voice is lush, but then it almost gets better then as it gets sort of like louder and sort of like more stretched. All right, let's keep going.
"20 years now,
Yeah,
where'd they go? 20 years, I don't know. I sit and I wonder sometimes where they've gone. Sometimes late at night, oh, when I'm bathed in the firelight, the moon comes calling a ghostly way, and I recall like a rock, standing arrow straight, like a rock, charging from the gate, like a rock, carrying the weight, like a rock, oh, like a rock, the sun upon my skin, like a rock, hard against the wind, like a rock, I see myself again. Like a rock, oh, like a rock.
That was bloody brilliant. I love that. I love just the fact that someone has left a comment somewhere, and now all of a sudden I'm watching someone that I've never seen before and having that experience of listening to a voice, but listening to a storyteller, but also listening to someone that is saying something really quite meaningful with their lyrics, and like the way that he used lyrics to really transport me to, or take me to the point of the song, what it is that he's trying to say here. It was just, it was so cool. You know, it's like, it's easy enough for me to say to you, time is the biggest head fuck for human beings to get their head around. That's one sentence. I don't take you to a place where you can really grasp that, but the song does. That song allows you to grasp, God, time passing is hard. It's hard for 20 years to have gone by and to have seen who we once were and to know we never get to be that person again. You know, it's like often I get together with my friends and we'll reminisce, and all our reminiscing is like, remember when we were young? Remember how cool it was to be young? Remember when we used to go out until 5 o'clock in the morning, or we used to wake up and play football and then go to the beach, and we used to do all these things unafflicted by like life, and we never get to have that again. You know, sometimes I wonder whether I wonder why we expect happiness to be the normal state of affairs. We have so much loss. We don't just lose the people we love. We lose time. We lose ourselves to time. Like, it's so hard. And so, like, you know, and when those things come up, we're going to feel a melancholy. There's a melancholy to the song and a sadness to the song. And that's just sort of like a part of being a human being. But it's such a hard thing to get your head around, the passing of time, the fact that time moves in one direction. You can't go backwards. And like, and now I look at this video, right? And I'm wondering to myself, how old is he now? This Bob Seger guy, how old is he now? Was this song 15 years ago? And if it was 15 years ago, is the like 65-year-old Bob now looking at him in this video thinking, I'd love to be there again? Because we spend so much time traveling, looking backwards and looking forwards, that how often do we really take time to situate ourselves in the now? And of course, that's what mindfulness is about. It's about situating yourself in the now. There's cool stuff going on now. So I really hope that, like Bob Seger, at this age, while he was mourning the past in the way that we all mourn the past, was also loving the now and loving the things that the now affords, and the things that the now afford for someone who's like my age, say 40 years old, is young children and the joy that they can bring. It's sort of like moving around with respect to work. It's sort of like still trying to use our physical capabilities to achieve things. Like, there's cool stuff that sort of like is happening now. But if I spend too much time in the past or in the future, I'm not appreciating really what's going on now. So this song for me is a message about, okay, yeah, it's hard. It's hard that people that time goes, but there's still a way to sort of like enjoy what's around us right now, what's surrounding us and what is around us right now. It's so funny, like a rock, right? The idea of a rock, it speaks of strength. And he's basically saying, I was like a rock. I was strong, physically, mentally, and whatnot, you know? And I look back at my own self and think, yeah, I was strong. Physically, I could hold myself, and mentally, I could hold myself. I don't think I was wise. I think I was strong. I don't think I was wise. I'm much less strong now. I'm much more wise. I see things a lot better now. I see the nuance and the depth and some of the toughness that comes with life and I didn't see those things when I was young, and that's what made me strong. So like, it all depends on what your definition of strong is, you know. And so there's like, it is unafflicted. It's like you're just unaware when you're younger, and you feel strong as a result of that. But I'm not sure you've really got that wisdom. At least I didn't have that wisdom. It's taken a bit of life for me to earn that. Wicked. Absolutely loved it. I hope you liked my reaction to it, and I'll have to look into this fella and see if there's some more good songs. If you know of any good songs that will be good to react to from a psychological perspective, put them in the comments so that I can do it next time. And thanks so much for watching. All right, take care. That was so clever. Have you seen it before, that song?
I've not seen it before, no, but because I can hear it coming through the headphones, and because the text is on, and it is right, and you hear the trope, youth is wasted on the young.
Yeah. I never understood that when I was young.
No, I was like, what's that about?
Yeah. Now I do. Yeah, no, it was like, but I really think that like time passing is, I can't think of a harder thing apart from the existence or non-existence of a God that is harder for a human being to get their head around. The fact that time goes, and everything that's come before it you can't go back to. You've got no time machine. You don't get to go back to it. Do you know what I mean? You know, you'll be experiencing this now more than most. Like, you do anything sometimes. Just go back 5 years, go back 10 years, go back 15 years. You just can't do it, and it's so hard. But there was almost something positive about the way that he did this, because it was just like, rather than mourning a person being gone, he was mourning time being gone, and so there was a nostalgia to it, like almost like a thankfulness that he got to have the experience, but a sadness that he's now no longer a young strapping American driving across the roads, picking up girls or whatever, you know, doing all the things that you do when you're young, sort of thing. So yeah, it was cool. I really liked it.
And it's one of those things where time is such an expensive resource. Well, it's almost unattainably expensive, because you can never get it back. You can never buy more of it.
No.
And the only thing you can do is exist in it.
Exactly that.
And it's just an awful way, because you go through things in life and you think, well, I can only do what I can do now. And then you look back at what perhaps you used to be, or the body you used to have. And it's really strange that you can be so strong and have so much conviction and know so little.
Yeah.
That fundamental strength and belief that anything can be done.
Yeah.
And now it's the flip side.
Yeah.
I know where the limits are.
Yeah.
I know what I can do.
Yeah.
And it's,
so you don't live in this world of optimism and hope anymore. Do you know what I mean? You've got more of a realism.
What my capability is more founded in realism than it is in optimism. Exactly. And the not knowing, or the unwavering belief that I almost swore then.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but you know where that the saying is, F it and
Yeah.
find out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how you.
Yeah.
If it works, it works. If it doesn't,
Don't worry.
don't worry.
Yeah.
No, but he's fantastic.
Oh, he's got a lush voice as well. I guess he's super famous.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
really, 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 and he's got one of those voices that has.
It's got a graveliness to it.
But it's like when you're going down the motorway and you want to pick up a bit of speed. Some cars you can put the foot down,
Yeah,
and it goes.
and he can.
His
Yeah.
just keeps going, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how much power. Most people peter away.
Yeah, exactly.
And like when I sing,
Yeah.
I get to a point and it's
Can't do it anymore.
horrific.
Yeah.
But his just keeps
Yeah.
going and going, which is I'm jealous of because